Oh my god. Okay. Sorry. I was actually talking in mute. So what I am saying is there anyone who paid the amount and not in the group, in WhatsApp group? Am I audible?
Audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what I am saying I'm saying, is there anyone who paid the amount and not there? Okay, that's fine. So let me start. So yesterday we were discussing something called our list data type, which is generally one of the important data type in Python. So I have already discussed about couple of methods which we used in this data type. So out of that we have seen something called insert and append. So insert is a method which is used to insert any element and one element at any index. Okay, got it right. So I hope, is there anyone new for today? There is no one new for today, right? Okay. So I'm continuing with the Python class. Then we'll complete it in this week. Then we'll start with Selenium. So if I take some list, whatever the list it is, if I want to append any element, append means adding one element in the last index. So if I want to append any element, okay, I need to say append of that element. So this element, if it is a string, you should disclose in double quotes. If it is a integer or any number, it should be directly provided like this. So if I print L, you see right, 7 is added on the class. So append is a method which is a part of list. So anything in the is represented with square brackets like this is called as a list. Okay. And when you are trying to append is you are adding, and one element, only one element you can add in one go. If you are adding one element, that will be appended at the last index. Similarly, there is something called insert. Insert is a method again which will add the your preferred index. Suppose I want to add a third index and I want to add 400, whatever it is. So this will be third index, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, somewhere here. Okay, between 3 and 4. It is going to add 400. You can see, right? If I print L, you can see 400 is added. So this is one of the methods. So it's better everyone should know all the methods which are used in the data type. So in list data type, what are the different methods we use? In tuple, what we use? In string, what we use? In dictionary, what we use? In set, what we use? If you know all these methods, what is the benefit is you can able to work with that data type in ease. You don't need to you know do some operations from the scratch. You can directly use the methods which are involved in that uh, data type. Similarly, if you want to remove any element, I need to say L dot remove, and if I want to remove 400, I should give the number. I should not give the index. Okay, remove will always take the number. So if I say L equal to, if I print L, you see right, 400 is been removed from the this thing. Okay, so there is one more method called delete. Delete is also a method which is used to delete the element from the list. Okay, but here it goes with the index. Remove will go with the element value, but whereas delete will go with the index. So if you see L of 3, L of 3 is not the element 3 but index 3. So remove and delete works in the same way, but but the difference between remove and index is, I mean delete is, remove will remove the element value. Okay, if I want to remove any element, I should give the value here. That means the particular value of that element. Here I should give the index. So when I say L of 3, it is not going to delete this 3. Instead, it is going to delete the index 3, which is this one. Okay. If you print L now, you see 3 is there, but 4 is gone. So delete and remove are two same methods, but it goes with the different ways. Okay. Hope you understood, right? So then we have some methods like count. Again, count. If I want to count any elements, as you have already seen in the string data type, count is a method. Length is also a method. Length will give the count. I mean, length starts from 1. So totally 6 elements we have right now. See, right? This is the latest list which is there. So here if you see, totally 6 elements are there. Okay, then what we have, so if I want to find any index, if I want to find index of 7, I need to say L dot index of 7. What is the index of 7? 7 is at fifth index. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 7 is at index 5. So you need to ask which index that element is. It gives you the value. So you need to remember some basic methods like append, insert, remove, delete, count, length, index. Okay, we have extend, we have some methods like this. Okay, if I say L dot, you will find, you see, right, you can find this many things. So sort is one of the method. If I already shown you, sort is some method which, if you have not you know, sorted the array. So if I say L1 equal to something like this, 4, 3, 2, 5, 8, 6, 7, 9, and something like this. Then if I say L1 dot sort, okay, then if I print L1, you see, like, L1 is being sorted now. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is in the sorted order. Similarly, if I want to say L dot copy, so I am going to take L2. L2 is one more array. Okay. So if I say L dot copy, so what is happening here? I'm going to copy all the elements which is there in L. Okay, L, not L1. Okay, see what I'm doing? I'm going to copy the L. So if I print L2, L2 is same as L. Okay, L is also same. So copy is like a replica of what the, okay, we have something called deep copy and shallow copy. I will explain you later on that part. So here what you're doing, you're going to create a list which is exactly the copy of the other list. Okay. So L dot copy means L2 will be having the same elements as L. Okay. Understood, right? Similarly, L dot clear. Clear is a method which will clear all the data. Okay. So my L is now having no elements. You see, right? This is called empty list. Okay. If there is no element, that is called empty list. Okay. So you need to understand at least these methods which are very important, like how to add, how to append element, how to insert element, what is the count, how to find the count, how to remove, how to delete, how to get the index, how to, what is the length of the list, how to sort the elements, how to copy, how to clear. So if you know this basic things, that's fine. Okay. See, you have L1, right? So how do you print any element in a reverse order? In say generally, if you know the slicing operation, so if I print what is L1, what is L1 here? L1 is something 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So I want to reverse my list. So how do I do that? How do I do that? So what is actually this one? Can you tell me what is actually this one? What is this one? See, we know, we have seen in the string, so it applies same to list. So can you tell me what is this one? If I don't provide anything, what it is going to do?
So it will return the list of element from 0 to n number of indexing.
Yeah, it will give you from 0 to the last index, right? Yes or no? So, but what happens if I give one more? Okay, if I give one, what is the meaning of this? So this last, so we have two more things. Either you can give in this way, or this one. This extra step is called as a skipping element. So if I say one, that means it will skip zero elements. Okay. If I say one, what happens? It will skip zero elements. If I say two here, it will skip one element. That means it takes two, it will skip three, then four, skip five. If I say two, it will skip one element. One element means after every element, it will skip one element. If I say three, it will skip two elements. So it will print two, then it will give five, then again eight, like that. Okay. So you need to understand what exactly the skipping element is. So when I say 2, it will skip one element. See, if I say 2, it will print 2 and it will skip 3, then 4, then skip 5, then 6. Okay. So I'm sorry, L, not L, it is not L, it is L1, right? L1 of, it is L1 of this one, L1 of this one. Okay. So it is skipping every one element, right? If I say 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, every if you give 2, it will only skip one element. So minus 1 to what you have given. If I say 1, it will not skip any element. So the benefit, the other way is like, if you say minus 1, what happens? It will skip 0 elements, because 1 is 0 elements, 2 means 1 element, 3 means 2 elements. But when I say minus 1, that means it starts from minus 1. Understood, right? It starts from minus 1, or it will read from the back. So the back will be, instead of reading it two in the straightforward 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it reads from the back without skipping any element. Okay, so got it right? So it will print you the reverse of the list, the reverse of the list. Okay, understood, right, everyone? So there is something called, this is called the, if you want to reverse any list, you can directly write like this. Not only list, if you want to reverse any
चाय
string
तो
or
बना के ले
anything,
आई या तू
चाय की ज्यादा नहीं हो ना।
please go on mute. Please go on
ले आओ
mute.
ले आओ ब्रेड लिया था यार
Okay, so now what happens, there is a method called extend. So if I say L1 dot extend of L2, that means I'm going to add one list to other list. Okay, so if I print L1, L1 will be a big thing. See, generally L1 is this one, right? So if I say L1 dot extend, extend means I'm going to add something extension to your L1. So L2 is also the same. You see, right? This is L2. So I am going to add this L2 to the extension of your L1. So I say L1 dot extend L2 means I'm going to extend L1 with the L2. So that's why you see, right? Till here it is L1. Now from here it is L2. So everything is now combined as L1. Understood, right? Clear, right? So L1 is that one only. See, now you see, right? L1 is being extended with L2. Okay. This is L2. This is L2, and this is L1. Okay, so what happens here is L2 is getting extended to the L1. So if I say L2 dot extend of L1, okay, now what happens to the L2, L1 will be added. So now it will be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Understood, right? If I print L2, got it, right? See, already got it, right? Already this is L1, this is L2. So this is L1. Recently this is the L1 because we already extended once. Now we are going to extend one more time, so it becomes like this. So extend means you are going to add two lists. One list after other list is generally used, and that method is called as extend. Extend is not for a single element. Extend is to add a list to a list. Okay. So you need to know all these methods generally. Okay. Now we will see something called tuple. So tuple, as the name itself means, tuple is actually a, okay. Please listen. Tuple is a immutable data type. So what is immutable data type? So the only thing that you need to remember in a very simple context is, when it is immutable data type, you cannot able to add or remove the elements from the list, from anything. Okay, so when it is immutable data type, it doesn't works for something called, okay, uh, to add or remove. So we cannot use any methods which can add or remove from the tuple. So tuple is generally represented by square brackets. Okay, if I say t equal to, you can give any variable, it is square, it is parenthesis. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it also takes any kind of data type. So there is no restriction for list and tuple. Tuple and list are both same. The only difference is the representation is being given in double, I mean parenthesis. This is parenthesis, right? Not square brackets. Please remember, this is square brackets. Okay. So you just need to know the difference. When it is square brackets, it automatically understands to your interpreter that it is a list. But whereas when it is a parenthesis, it will be understood as a tuple. So tuple can be also, you can pass any data type inside tuple. It is not only a homogeneous collection, it is also an heterogeneous collection of data. The only difference between tuple and list is something, tuple will not allow to change anything inside it. Okay, Understood, right? You got it, right? So if I say t of, what is t of 2? T of 2 is generally 3, right? The t of 2 means the index 2 is 3. Or if I say t of 5, what is t of 5? T of 5, what is t of 5? It is going to be nickel. I'm sorry. There is no t of 5, it seems. Okay. We have only t of 4 till max. It's nickel, right? So there is no t of 5 because I'm going something out of the tuple out of the range. You're going to get some index which is out of range. So now I want to assign some value like string. See, right? Like string, it is also same immutable data type. If I want to assign Nikhil to something called Raj, okay, you will get an error saying that tuple item doesn't give support item assignment because it is immutable. You cannot change anything inside the tuple once it is declared. Similar like your string, okay. But whereas in list you can do anything. You can add, you can remove, you can delete. Okay, you can use all the methods. So tuple is same like list I said. So you cannot use any methods except that is not changing your data. Like you cannot use append because append will add element. You cannot use insert, insert is also adding element. You cannot use delete, you cannot use remove because removing element is also not possible. You can only do get the index of the element because you are not doing any transactions. You are not sorting, you cannot sort it. Okay, what you can do, you can only get the count of the element. Getting count is you are only getting the data, you are not changing anything inside the data that is declared. Understood, right? You can only get the length of the tuple. Okay, you can only use those methods which will not change your data. Are you getting what I'm saying? Are you understanding, everyone? People who are new, who knows it, okay, that's fine, they can get it. People who are new, who don't know anything about Python, are you getting what I'm trying to say, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So so what I mean to say here is tuple and list are both same. So the issue is here tuple is a immutable data type whereas list is a mutable data type. So when it says mutable and immutable, mutable means changeable. So you can change everything. You can add, you can remove, you can modify, you can extend, you can sort and all stuff. But whereas tuple will not support that. So tuple only supports to retrieve the data. You just need to read the data what is there. Okay, you cannot what, you cannot uh, remove or add any kind of data inside the tuple. So tuple is a constant database. Okay. So now what happens? You can if I try using append method, I'll get an error. Okay. If I try using append method, I'll get an error saying that it is not a attribute. It's not an attribute for tuple. Tuple doesn't have something called append because append is going to add. So you can only use something like count. Count is count is not going to change anything, right? Count is giving you one. So what is that? I'm going to say how many times one is repeated. One is repeated only once in my tuple. Okay. So count is not going to change anything. Count is to just get what is the count of the tuple already there. You're not doing anything inside the tuple. So what is the count of Nikhil also you can give. So count of that element, how many times that element is there, it is only one time there. You can take any tuple which should be in the representation of parentheses. Similarly, when I say P dot index, what is the index of Nikhil? So index of Nikhil, index means to get which index that Nikhil is there. So Nikhil is there at fourth index. Index starts from 0, right? So if it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So Nikhil is the fourth index. Similarly, length. Length will always start from 1. What is the length of T? It is going to be 5. So you cannot use any other methods except something that is not changing your data. You cannot use append, you cannot use insert, you cannot use, clear is again completely doing that. So what you can do? What you can do? You cannot use delete, you cannot use remove, you cannot use methods which are going to change something as part of your data. Understood, right? So you can use count, index, length, and all stuff. So
Sir, can we extend the tuple?
no, we cannot do.
Okay.
Okay, you cannot use a method called extend of tuple because tuple extension is adding extra elements to the existing tuple, right? Right. If I say if I take T2 tuple and then if I say T1 dot extend T2, then you're adding some elements. So adding elements itself is not possible. Okay, fine. So now let us see something called set data type. Set data type. So I'm just going you a complete brief effort. Today we'll try to see something like loops, till loops we'll try to complete, and possibly functions. I'll complete tomorrow, functions, and then object oriented programming for 1 or 2 days. So which completes your something called I'm sorry, Python. So set data type. Set data type is very important. You need to know a couple of things in set data type. So there are certain rules. I'm going to share the notes today. Today I'm going to share because yesterday I couldn't able to share because I didn't get the complete this one. So we have two notes. We have 2 or 3 different notes. One is a common Durgasoft class notes, and other is which I actually take up. Okay, so you will get all these things. So set is an important data type, as I was saying you. So set is again a mutable data type. So what you need to understand, set is a mutable data type. Set itself is a mutable data type. That means you just need to remember that when it is mutable, you can add elements into set or remove elements from the set. Set is one of the data type. If you have known something called set interface, which is a part of collections in Java, okay, you will basically understand how actually it operates, but that's fine if you don't have any idea about it. So set is a mutable data type, but the thing is like set will not allow any mutable data type inside it. So that means for list and tuple you don't have any restriction. You can pass any data type inside it. You can pass a number, you can pass a float variable, you can pass a string, you can pass a list inside a list also. You can pass anything inside list, and even tuple the same thing. But whereas it comes to set, set will only allow the immutable data types. You can only pass, got it right? You can only pass a number or a string, okay, which is immutable. Okay, you cannot pass or tuple also you can pass. You cannot pass a list or you cannot pass set or you cannot pass dictionary. Understood, right? You cannot pass any of the mutable data types inside your set. Okay, that is the second thing that you need to understand. So see, if it is a list, I have taken a list, right? This is a list. In the list I can pass anything. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Then I can also pass a list. This is sublist. Okay, a list inside a list is called sublist. I can pass a integer, I can pass a string, I can pass a float variable, anything I can pass. Okay, if I say L of, what is L of 4, it is a sublist. So L of 4 of 1, L of 4 of 1 means inside the L of 4, what is the first index? It is 2, right? See, this L of 4 of 1 means, you are understanding everyone? Just a minute. You're able to understand everyone? What is,
Yes, sir.
Sir, your voice is not audible.
yeah, am I audible? Am I audible?
Now we are
Hello.
audible,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yes.
what I am trying to say is, just a minute. L of 4 will give you 1 comma 2. It is a sublist. Inside the sublist, if I want a particular element to extract, I need to give one more index, which is the index. So 1 will be 0th index and 2 will be first index. So L of 4 of 1 is nothing but from the list fourth index, again from the sublist first index, which is 2. Okay, so you can able to extract. If I say L of 4 of 0 will give me 1. So you can pass list inside a list or tuple also, anything you can pass in a list, and in the tuple also you can pass any data type. So generally set is represented by flower brackets, you see, right? See, you need to know the difference. This is called flower brackets. Okay, 1 2 Nikhil, Because I said only immutable data types. You cannot pass anything. See, you got it right. Suppose 3. So what you need to understand here, set is represented by this brackets. This is called flower brackets. This is called, see, please listen. This is called, uh, you know, square brackets, and this is called which one? Which one is called? Which one is called? This one is called parenthesis. Okay, understood, right? So you need to know the difference. Parenthesis, which is a representation of tuple. Okay, then square brackets, which is a representation of list, then flower brackets, which is a representation of set. So if you know that, only then you can work on it. See, I said you in set you cannot pass any elements, okay, which is mutable. You cannot pass a list inside a set. So got it right? What is the type of S? What is the type? What is the data type of S? S is a set data type. Okay. So what is the type of T? What is the type of T which we have already defined? It is a tuple data type. So your interpreter will understand what kind of data type it is by default. Okay. Got it right? So clear. So so what happens is set, the important thing is that set will not allow any mutable data type. So if I try passing something called a list inside a set, anything like this, okay. So if I pass a list inside a set, what happens? It gives me error saying that unhashable type list. Okay, I cannot able to pass a list inside a set. I can pass a tuple inside a set. See, if I want to assign any set, the thing is like I can able to pass a tuple. So I can able to pass a tuple like this. Okay, this is possible because see, if I print S, you're getting right. See, the difference you are understanding here. It is not maintaining the insertion order. See, if I take a list here, okay, whatever the way I have inserted, I am getting the data same way. Suppose this way I am inserting. So if I say L of 4, it is nothing but 1 comma 2. If I say L of 0, it is 1. L of 1 is 2. L of 2 is 3. L of 3 is 4. And if I say L of 5 is 10.2, because you are maintaining the insertion order here. But whereas in set you will not maintain, there is nothing called maintaining the insertion order. So that means whatever the way I give, it is giving me in a different way. See, 2 comma 3 is somewhere in the middle, but when I am trying to print it, it is taking in the first. So you don't have anything called indexing in set. I cannot say S of 0, S of 1, S of 2. There is no concept of indexing. Okay, you cannot retrieve any element using index because it is an unordered collection of elements. Are you understanding? The first step is set is a mutable data type. Set will not allow any mutable data type. Third step is set is unordered collection of elements. You don't have any order. Okay, it will not maintain any order. That is the thing. Are you getting what I am trying to say? So you need to understand some things which is a part of set. And the fourth step is set is, okay, set will not allow any kind of duplicate elements. Suppose here in a list, if I am taking any list or anything you can take, tuple is also the same representation. So you see, right, you can pass n number of repetitions, okay, with the same data. I can pass, if I print here, you see, right, whatever I have taken, I am getting the same thing here. Okay, all these things I am getting. I can pass n number of elements, and if I want to retrieve, suppose L of 10, what is L of 10? It is 5. So this is the L of 10, I guess. Okay, you got it right. So I can give the same element n number of times. So that means 4 is repeated n number of times, 5 is also repeated, 3 repeated, 2 repeated. You can able to repeat n number of times. But whereas if you take in set, suppose I am giving 1, 2, 3, and I am going to repeat some elements, whatever it is. Okay, see, I am going to give multiple elements. Okay, this is a set, right? Anything in the flower brackets is understood as a set. If I print else, you see, right, there is no element repeated and order is not maintained. Are you clear, everyone? So repetition, it will not allow repetitions, it will only give you one go. Are you clear, everyone? So what you need to remember here in set, set is a mutable data type. Set will not allow any mutable data type. Set is an unordered collection of elements, so there is no concept of index in set. Got it, right? Understood, right? And then set will not allow any duplicate elements. I hope everyone understood basically what is set. Everyone just message yes or no in chat. So I'll go to the next topic. Yeah, yeah, fine. Like that. Some 5, 10, 5 people, 6 people, yeah. That's fine. I'll go to the next topic. So this is all about generally set. Set has, as I said, you set is mutable data type. You can add elements in the set. So if I want to add any elements, there is no method called append. Don't use every data type with the same method what you know. So there is a method. Don't use append. Okay, append means adding element, but that is for list, not for set. Okay, for set we have a method called add. So add is a one of the method which is for set, which is going to add one element. You can add any element to the set. Suppose I want to add 1000. So you cannot say which index it will add, but it will add to the set because index concept itself is not there in concept of set. Okay, set will not take anything in the concept of index because there is no indexing in set. It is unordered collection of elements. So when I say 1000, if I print yes, 1000 is added at the first index. You can add anywhere. Okay, that is not the preference here. But the thing is like whether it is added or not is the preference. Okay. Similarly, got it, right? Add is a method which is part of set which is going to add one element at any index, but it is going to add it set. So you cannot say s of 1 to 3, 3 to 4, or you cannot do like this. The indexing, the concept of slicing and all will not work because there is no concept of index in set. Okay. So the other thing is like if you want to add multiple elements to the set, you need to add like this. You say update and you need to give the number of elements which you want to add. Suppose I want to add 1200, I want to add 1500, or I want to add 8000, whatever it is. It should be represented in the list format, but it is not list. So it doesn't mean that you are going to add the list, but you are going to add multiple elements. When you are adding multiple elements, that should be enclosed in the square brackets. So now 120, 1500, 8000 is going to add to the existing set, but at any index. Update is to add multiple elements, add is to add only one element. So I'm going to update, I'm going to add these three elements. So if I print yes, now you see, right? It is going to add any index. Index is not a matter, but the thing is like it is going to add elements. Okay, 8000 is added, 1500 is added, 120 is added. Index concept is not actually matter than set. Okay. See, if I want to remove any element, I need to say s dot remove. There is no index type. You cannot use something called delete L of index. So delete method will not work. Only remove will work. Remove 1500. So 1500 element will be removed. So if I print yes, you see, right, 1500 is removed from the set. Okay. So s1 equal to s dot copy. Can I copy the set exactly? Okay, I'm going to copy the set exactly which is there. S dot clear. Okay, if I print yes, it is an empty set. So what is empty set? Empty set is not this one. Okay, if I say like this without any elements, that is not empty set. Empty set is represented by like this. This is called empty dictionary. Anything like this, because even dictionary will have the same representation as your set. In other way, I'll tell you what is that. But you need to just remember here the representation like this is called as, it is a empty dictionary, not a empty set. Okay, empty set will be represented like this. If I say set open and close brackets, that means there is no element in the set. Okay, it is an empty set. Understood, right? So clear, remove, copy, update, add will be part of your set data type. So you just need to understand every data type and where it is used. As we progress, you will get to. So set is generally used to remove the duplicates. So if I give you a question, if I give you a program, write a program to remove the duplicates, okay, from the string. So I'll give you a string and I'll say to remove the duplicates. So what you do, you just convert to a set, and then automatically the elements will be removed. Then again convert back to the string or list or whatever the data type you want. Got it, right? It's a simple way. So you don't need to write a big logic on that, because already a data type is ready for you, which consists of some methods which can help you in removing the duplicates automatically. So you just convert it to the set. So everything in Python is like a handy to you. That means you don't need to build anything from the scratch. Everything is already available in Python. The coding makes you more simple. The methods which are already built make your coding more simple and simple. You don't need to write any code from the scratch. Okay, hope you understood, right? So you don't need to write any code from the scratch in Python, especially the reason because there are a lot of methods available in Python. Okay, so now getting back to the dictionary. So dictionary is one of the data types. So we have seen what we have seen: numbers, which is integers, float variables, and complex. You know how to represent them. Then we have seen string data type. So we have seen some methods of string data type. Whenever if you get some data type in mind, you need to remember all the methods. You need to remember the methods like upper, lower, upper, is lower. Okay. Then what we have: capitalize, we have length. Tell me, no? We have index, we have count, we have slicing. Okay. So we have couple of methods which are there in string. Similarly, when it comes to list, you have append, you have insert, delete, remove. Okay. Copy, clear. What we have? Okay, we have extend. So we have some of the methods. When coming to the tuple, so tuple is a limited. So tuple has only count, index, length. You cannot add or remove element, so tuple is limited. Now coming to the set. So you need to know how to represent set first. So what to pass, what not to pass inside the set, you need to know. And you need to know that set is a duplicate collection of element. It will remove the duplicates. It is another collection of elements. So we have methods like add, update, remove, copy, clear. So you need to know whenever a data type comes to your mind, you need to know all the methods. So then whenever any program is being asked in interview, you should apply logics using these methods, which makes your code simple. I said you right. There are a lot of ways where you use this methods. And day-to-day activities in Python, you will be using this data types, every type. So you just need to know what is actually data type. Data types are the types of data. Okay, different types of data that is stored. Okay, so that what are the you have to work with this. So there may be a possibility of working with dictionary. There may be a possibility of working with. So you need to understand which type of data that is stored and how to operate that data, how to do modification, manipulations of data. Then only you can work with the whole programming language. The programming language, the code is actually there in this data types. Okay, the fundamentals, always you will be always be using these data types every time in your lifetime. Okay, because data types are very important and they are basic building blocks for your programming language. Any language it is, Java, Python, everything has its own data types. Okay, so now coming back to the dictionary. Okay, so in the dictionary, what is happening here? Just a minute. So coming back to the dictionary, dictionary is one of the data type. So dictionary is also represented by flower brackets like this. Okay, dictionary is represented by flower brackets. Set is represented by flower brackets. Okay, the representation of dictionary is little different, and tuple is different, represented by square brackets. Parentheses. List is represented by the square brackets. String is double quotations or single quotations generally. Numbers, no representation. You directly say assign the value to it. Okay, like this. Some of the basic things. These are all very basic things. You just need to remember because I am giving you overview of the things. Okay, I'm not going to tell you the complete internals which is required as a day-to-day Python programming syllabus. Understood, right? This is something is an overview of Python. You will get to know one additional skill set which is Python programming to your resume. Okay, so I'll give you some programs after this is done. I'll give you some programs, so you should be able to solve that. So learn the logics, don't learn the programs. So I mean to say is that practice more programs, then automatically logic comes to you. Okay, I'll give you some reference of websites. You just prepare those websites. That is enough to crack any interviews because this course is meant for 2.5 years straightforward experience in Selenium with Python. Other experiences you can keep whatever you want, whatever you have as well. 2.5 max you can keep this experiences for Python with Selenium. So this is enough whatever the references I am providing for Python programming because I cannot teach you programming coding questions. It's all about your logic, how you apply it because there is no limitation of the programs. So you should practice every day. Finally, you will get to know the logics. So parallelly, while the course is completion or while the course is happening, you should practice Python programs every day, some 5 or 10 programs every day with logics. What is applying? So what they are actually approaching? What is the process of doing? How to solve the program and all these things you should learn it parallelly to the course. The Selenium I will take care. All the things I will take care. Within the course everything will be covered. But the programming is something in interview they'll ask you. They'll ask you simple program. They'll ask you to reverse something or remove the duplicates or do some very basic programs. But at least you need to know how to do that. So for that, I'll give you some references of websites. You go and practice those websites every day. Okay, every day some 5-10 programs you practice. Finally, you will crack that. Okay, you will learn logics wherein you can crack any interview. So that is the only fundamental for everyone, no matter where are you, to crack any interview. 100% there are huge job openings, and then there is a huge opportunities in the market. Python is going to really get a huge boom in the market for next couple of years. There is no problem for jobs. Okay? Jobs are very much in market. Selenium with Python, so many jobs are there. You can go and check in Naukri because Naukri is not my website for Indians especially. Go and search in other job portals in other countries, other people from other countries. Uh, so if you see Naukri, go and type Selenium WebDriver, comma Python, you find thousands of jobs. Okay, this is fact. Naukri is not my portal, right? Naukri is someone's where the companies post the jobs. So there are huge openings. Please understand and then just follow it. Programs is what you need to focus on. Okay, programs, learn logics is what you need to focus on because there is no such thing that people can imbibe you learning logics without practicing. It's all about you practice. Okay, for 1 month straightforward, you will get to know every program. You will understand how to approach every program. Okay, so coming back again to the topic. So dictionary is one of the data type. So this dictionary is also represented by flower brackets. So in a flower brackets, so you need to understand the different way from set because you can also ask set is also flower brackets and dictionary is also flower brackets. But there is a different way of representing. Set is not a single element; it is a combination of key and value pair. So like this, anything. So if I say one Nikhil, so say two, okay, Raj, something like this, and say if I say three, Kumar, something like this. So here, this is actually called as one element in dictionary. Understood, right? So dictionary, see generally in list you directly list and tuple and set you will directly give the elements. But a pair is called one element in dictionary. So this is called key. Anything before your colon is called key, and this is called value. So it is a key and value pair. The key and value combination is called as a single element. So if I say there are only three elements in my dictionary and three keys, what are the keys? 1, 2, 3 are called keys. Nikhil, Raj, and Kumar are values. The whole thing is a dictionary. So dictionary is also represented by square with flower brackets. So this is called one element. This is called key and value pair. Pair means it is a combination of two. Okay, one is key and Nikhil is value. So two is key and Raju is value. Okay, three is key and Kumar is value. So this representation is called as, okay, a dictionary. So if you know collections in Java, there is a map interface. You can relate that it with this. Okay, people who don't know, that's fine, but if you know, you can just try to relate. The coding in Python is more simple than Java. You don't even compare. It is very much simple in Python. Everyone who wants to start their career with the programming and to have a long life, start with Python, because Python is very much simple compared to any programming language existing in the market, because you will get to know as we progress, and it is more simple. And okay, that is a fact as well. So if I want to say, if there is no index again for this, because it is also an ordered collection, it is a mutable data type. So what you need to understand, some basics of every data type you need to remember. Dictionary is also mutable data type. That means I can add elements or remove elements from dictionary. That is what it is clear. Second thing, dictionary is unordered collection. I mean, it may be in the same order, but you cannot retrieve anything using index. When I say unordered collection, that doesn't mean the order may be mismatched. It doesn't mean the index, its concept of index is not there. Okay, you cannot retrieve any element using the index. You cannot say uh, retrieve the element using this index. So now the retrieval in the dictionary is not based on the index, but it is based on the key value. So if I say d of 3, d of 3 is not the index of 3, it is d of key. D of key will give you the value of it. So in dictionary, the thing that you need to remember is, if you know one value or one key, only then you can retrieve the key values. It is not like you can able to know the index. There is no concept of index here again. Understood, right? The concept of d of key gives you the value. So d of 3 will give you Kumar. D of 2 will give you. So what is d of 3 and d of 2? D and 3 and 2 are called keys. They are not indexes. Okay. 3 is not the index. 3 is the key. So 1, 2, 3 are keys. If I want to know what are the keys, I need to say d dot keys. D dot keys give me dictionary keys. This is actually the representation. 1, 2, 3. So there are 1, 2, 3 are the keys. So if I say d dot values, gives me all the values. Nikhil, Raj, and Kumar will give you the values. Understood, right? So in the dictionary, what are values, what are keys gives you. So if you know the key, only then you can retrieve the value. If you know the key 3, so you can retrieve the value. So here there is again a restriction. The restriction is keys can be only immutable data type. Values can be of any data type. Understood, right? What is that? You need to just remember some basic things. Keys can be only immutable data type. I cannot add a list as a key. See, I can add a tuple also as a key. I can add like this also. I'm taking one more dictionary d1 equal to, I can say Nikhil 1. Okay, Nikhil 1. This is possible because key can be immutable. You can add anything as an immutable data type. You can add a list. Sorry, you can add a tuple. You can add a string, or you can add a number. Okay, got it right? As a key, you can add any immutable data type. You cannot add mutable data type. I can add this way also. Okay, because one is also a key, one is also immutable. Nikhil is also immutable. Value, there is no restriction for values. You can give any values. Okay, you can give any values. Okay, some disturbance outside. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, just remember here, who is this joined. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, key can be of only immutable data type, value can be any data type. You can use as a dictionary also. See, if I say 3 and then I can pass a list also. So you just need to remember everything, please. Okay, the basic fundamentals. This is a proper dictionary. If I print a d1, you see, right, you're getting the complete dictionary, but order may be different. or maybe same. That's a different story. But you are able to get everything what you have taken. This is a proper dictionary. Here in the key, I have given Nikhil and value 1, then key 1, value Kumar, then key 3, and the value tuple, I mean list. Okay, so value can be of any data type, value can be of any data type, okay, but the key should be only immutable. Understood, right? So if I say d2 equal to, I can take a tuple also. I can take a tuple 1 comma 2 and Nikhil. This is also fine. Okay, I can pass 2 of hello. I'm just giving you something else. Key and value you can give any combination of that. Okay, by then I say 4. Yes, this is also a right representation because I have given a tuple. I have given a tuple. Okay, as a key. Tuple is a mutable data type. The problem comes is when I give a list as a key. Okay, so I give a list as a key because list is a mutable data type. Set is also a mutable data type. Dictionary itself is a mutable data type. So set, dictionary, list are mutable data types. String, list, number, and tuple are immutable data types. These two you need to understand as part of data type. If you understand this mutable immutable concept, that's all. There is nothing much in your data types. You got it right, everyone? Now the error comes into picture. Okay, something like Kumar or whatever it is. Now the error comes saying that non-hashable type list. You cannot pass list as a key. List as a value can be possible. Okay, clear, right? Clear, right? I'll just stop and ask for 2 minutes. Everyone clear? Just give messages. That's all. I'll go to the next topic. I thought of actually covering this till today, but let's see. Okay. Okay, thank you. So I'll share you notes today in the group only WhatsApp. So that's why again I'm asking you: is there anyone who paid amount and not there in the group? Okay, I'm going to share the notes over there only. So is there anyone who paid the amount? Okay, and not there in the group? Not there in the group means in the WhatsApp group which we created. Almost everyone is there, and people. I'm going to share my WhatsApp number. Okay, to everyone, so that please ping me. If you have paid the amount, I'll recheck with them and then I'll add you in the group because our communication happens over there as well. Okay. If you have any doubts, you need to just give their your. You can post your doubts and also. You don't need to wait for me till the next day I come and also. Okay. So this is for making you more comfortable in communication. For any updates also, I'll be sharing you. Okay. Any doubts you have, you just directly into post there. Okay. Hope you understood, right, everyone? So whoever paid amount, they can just ping me in WhatsApp. So I'll add you in the group. Then in the group I'll be sharing you the notes. Anything related to the videos, okay, access issues, any technical issues, please reach to online team only because I don't have any specific authorities or privileges to do anything because I also have the same access as you have. Okay, no sharing. I cannot share screen. I cannot do anything until and unless I get the permission from them. Okay. So this is a very clear because everything is centralized over here in the Durgasoft Online. Okay? Everything they operate from there for every class, not only our class. Okay. So this is generally happens. Any doubts you can just ask in the group. Fine, right? So let me go back and complete this dictionary first. And tomorrow I'll be covering as much as I can. I'll join tomorrow early, more early. So fine. So what happens here is dictionary. As I said, it is mutable, so I can add elements in the dictionary. How do I add elements? I can randomly say something equal to, okay, like this. Hyderabad. So what is the meaning of this? D of phi equal to Hyderabad means already I have a dictionary. See, I'm just going to do one thing. I'm going to cut it first. I'm printing D. D is this one already existing D. So there is no methods in dictionary which will add elements. You can directly give some random like this. You can say D of phi equal to Hyderabad means I am going to add a new king called phi, new key called phi, and a value called Hyderabad to the existing dictionary which is D. So you don't have anything called add, append, and other methods like this in dictionary which is going to add the elements to the dictionary. You can randomly provide, you can directly give any key and any value that is assigned with the dictionary. So here what is happening to is a new key called phi is going to add and the value called Hyderabad is going to add to the dictionary D. So this is the way you add an element. You don't have anything called add or append or any other method which goes and adds to the dictionary. But the way to add an element to a dictionary, because it is mutable. When it say mutable, I can add elements or I can remove elements. So when I want to add elements, I need to say like this: the d of key. You can give any key equal to any value. So that key and value will be going and adding to the dictionary. Dictionary, which dictionary? D dictionary. If I say D1 to the D1 dictionary, D2, so you can take any dictionary. That's up to you. Now if I print D, you see right there is a new key and value been added, which is phi and Hyderabad. So this is the way you add an element to a dictionary. Understood, right? You don't use any methods. There is no other method to add element to the dictionary, but this is the way to add the element to dictionary. Similarly, if I want to remove, I can say d dot remove, not the, I should not say anything called index here. There is no concept of index again here. You can directly say the value, the key. So if I say d of 5 or d of 3, 3 means d dot remove of key 3. So automatically value is also removed. So now if I print 3, okay, I'm sorry, delete del d of 3. 3 is key. Okay, there is no method called remove. There is no method called remove in dictionary. There is no method called remove in dictionary. You are going to delete a element. So that element is not the index, but it is the key. D of 3 is the key. Understood, right? D of 3 is the key. You got it right, everyone? So you can remove an element in a dictionary using del d of key. Any key you give, that key and value is completely removed. The whole element itself is removed. Okay. So the 3 is completely gone with the key, because when you want to remove any elements, the key is already associated with value. So the key is automatically removing the value also. Okay. If I want to copy, I am taking d4 equal to d dot copy. Similarly, what I am doing, d4 is the same replica of d. Okay, so if I say d dot clear, the same thing, the whole d is clear. Now if I print d, this is empty dictionary. You got it right? This is the empty dictionary, and the other one which I showed is the empty set. Understood, right? So d dot clear, d dot copy, d dot delete or add elements, things you need to remember. Okay, so I will try continuing tomorrow with the, so tomorrow I'll just give you the topics for what we are going to see. Okay, so this is like a revision for people who already know, and this is for learning for people who don't know. This is an extra syllabus or something out of my interest I am teaching, because Python is not a prescribed syllabus, but it will be addition to your skill set. Who don't know anything or who already knows, you can just do a revision kind of stuff. Okay, you can just listen. You don't need to practice something because you already know. You can go through what is happening. Okay, so now I'm going to give only the overview of Python. Okay, I'm going to teach you the complete Python in an overview basis. Okay, not like a course. Course is for 3 months or 2 months. We're going to see an overview of all the concepts of Python for hardly next 4 days or 5 days. We already completed 2 or 3 days. Next for 4 or 5 days, we are going to continue. Tomorrow, I'm going to complete conditional statements. I'll just give you the dates of what is coming from conditional statements, uh, and then I'll also continue loops, and I'll start with functions tomorrow. Okay, simple thing. I'll try to complete it. Then I'll complete something called modules the next day. And if I have any exception handling, okay, I'll start with object oriented programming. I'll complete object-oriented programming for 2 or 3 days, maybe 3 days or 2 days. 2 days. So which is going to be next to 4 days or 5 days. I'm going to complete. Okay, clear, right, everyone? Okay, that's fine. Any doubts? Anyone? Any doubts? I'm going to share the notes today in the group. Anyone paid fees and who is not there in the group, WhatsApp group, ping me in the WhatsApp group. Okay, ping me separately. I'll add into the group. Okay, I've given my number. You ping me. I'll add you into the group. Clear, right? Because hereafter everything will be communicated in the group only. Nothing will be communicated because these people generally they don't communicate with you. Sometimes whatever I say, I want to directly say you. So the three-way communication is not possible. Okay. So thank you guys. Any doubts, anyone regarding anything?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you can ping me if you have any doubts. You can ping me in WhatsApp. Okay. Uh, yeah, I'll be sharing you not 3 days. I'll be sharing you complete notes of Python, which is common for DurgaSoft uh, complete institute. So we'll be sharing you, which is commonly across other things. Okay. So got it right. I'll be sharing you a complete note, not for 3 days. Everything I'll be sharing you at one go. You can go and practice it. Thank you then.